What I found amusing by the whole situation,
That was quite funny,
that she was dressed like that, with half her tits hanging out, shouting, "Free Palestine!" That was just
But if she was
surreal.
there would be no chance. No chance.
Exactly. And there's an irony, if not hypocrisy, about that, isn't there? It's like queers for Palestine. They wouldn't last 2 seconds in Palestine either. What the hell's that about?
Remove it. Show your breast. Show your breast to Palestinians. Show your breast to Palestinians. Show your breast to Palestinians. Show. Show your breast. Remove your bra. Remove your bra. Remove your bra. Show your breast. Show your breast. Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Free Palestine from Hamas and Islam. 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 She is going naked for Palestinians. She is going naked for Palestinians. Show your breast to Palestinians. They will get encouragement.
You can't be.
Show your breast to Palestinians. Show your breast to Palestinians. They will get encouragement. Show your breast to Palestinians. They'll get encouraged. Show your breast. Show your breast to Palestinians. They'll get encouraged. She's doing all. It's going to be millions. Show your breast to Palestinians. They're coming. Show your breast to Palestinians. Show your breast to Palestinians. Show your breast to Palestinians.
Yes, go to Gaza and get oppressed. You will not survive for a second.
They will encourage. They'll get encouraged. Palestinians will get encouraged. Seeing your breast. Seeing your breast. They will encourage. Seeing your breast. They will get encouraged. Palestinians.
Genocide. Hamas committed genocide.
Look at your breast. Look at your breast. Look at your breast. Look at it. Show your breast to Palestinians. Show your breast to Palestinians. Look at that.
You know.
Free Palestine from Islam and Hamas. Free Palestine from Islam and Hamas. Free Palestine from Islam, the filth of the devil, and Hamas, the donkey. Hamas is a coward. Hamas the asshole of Islam. Hamas is the asshole of Islam. Hamas is the asshole of Islam. Hamas is the asshole of Show your breast to Palestinians. Go to Gaza. Go to Gaza. Show your breast to Palestinians.
How many of you all condemn Hamas for killing
Go to
babies?
Gaza.
Run away. Terrorists.
Breast to Palestinians. Show your breast to Palestinians. Open. Take it out. Show it on the camera. Palestinian wants to see. Palestinian wants to see your breast.
Killing babies.
Palestinian wants to see your breast. Palestinian wants to see your breast. Come on the camera. Remove your bra. Remove your bra. They will get encouraged. Look at your dressing sense. You're filthy whore. You're looking like a 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 whore. You look like a whore. You look like a whore. Your mother is sad. The mother, you feel sad for your mother. I feel sad for your mother. You look like a whore. You look like a prostitute. You look like a prostitute. Yeah, Palestinian wants to see some prostitutes. Show your breast to Palestine. 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 They'll get encouraged a little bit. Look at their dressing sense. They look like a whore. They look like a prostitute, and they are coming to protest again for Palestinians. Remove your bra and show your breast to Palestinians. They are crying there. By seeing your breast, they will jump a little bit. Look at the nonsense, the way they are dressed up. They are dressed up with a bra. And they are coming and protesting. Is this? Look at them. They are supporters of that stupid Palestinians. Free Palestine from the horse! Free Palestine from the horse! Free Palestine from the horse! You look like a prostitute! You look like a prostitute! You look like a prostitute! Show your breast to the Palestinians! Show your breast to the Palestinians!
Hamas is a terrorist, learn it!
Free Islam from Free Islam.
I appreciate your opinions.
Yeah.
Young ladies got opinions. Okay, just try and
Yeah.
Okay?
But they marched to us.
They are
Officer, they
exposing
came to us.
themselves. Officer.
They came to us first.
People can do what
Officer,
they want.
they are exposing themselves on the camera.
Okay? What
They
I'm saying-
barged into us.
About what you're saying,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
No, she's giving
I'm
an example.
asking her to
They
take
barged
the
into
camera
us.
and show to the public.
If you want to have debate,
Oh, you policing our conversation. You policing our conversation. That's bad. That's bad.
Show, remove Free Palestine from filthy Hamas and Islam. Free Palestine from filthy, disgusting Hamas and Islam. Free Palestine from the demonic, evil Islam and evil Hamas. We, Israel, will never become
LGBTQ for Hamas. It's most confusing.
horse. They don't know what they're doing. I feel pity for your mother. I feel pity for your mother. She gave you birth not for this nonsense. She gave you birth to live a humble and decent life.
Go take more LSD.
Understand your
Go
filth.
take
what
more
you're doing.
drugs and then come here play for us, right?
Your mother, I feel pity for your mother. Disgusting attitude and disgusting appearance. There, show.
Yes.
There, horse. You also remove.
say free Palestine.
You also remove. There. Remove all. Disgusting. Your parents are we are sad for your parents. You're filthy woman. You're filthy. Have some pity for your parents who gave you birth. You are disgusting. Remove your bra. The way you dress up. Look at you. You are the people who are allowing rape. People like you are allowing rape in the country. People like you, they allow rape in the country. People like you are raping. People like you. Because of you, girls are being raped in this country. Because of disgusting attitude and dressing sense. Yes. Because of your nudity. Have pity on your parents who gave you birth. Have some, you are an adult. Have some sense and live because you disgusting girls. You are Indian. Are you Indian? From which country? Teach some sense to them. Are you? Is your brain not working? Is your brain does work only for dressing up like this? Your brain works only for this? Open your bra completely. Why are you not opening your bra completely? We want to see your nipples. Show your nipples to the camera. Show your nipples to the camera. Show the nipples to the camera. Disgusting woman. If my daughter was like this, I will spank her 10 times. Show your bra, show your nipples. We want to see your nipples. Look at that disgusting attitude. Have some brain. Use your brain. Use your brain. Minor, I'm a minor. Are disgusting. You're not a minor. You dress up like a whore. I'm a minor. You look like a whore. You look like a prostitute. You are a whore. No, they are here to support. See, this man is even worse. See, instead of encouraging them, instead of discouraging them, you are bloody encouraging them. Have some shame for your parents. Have some shame for your parents. This is all magic done, black magic done, black magic. Look at that. Look at the way they dress up. You are a man. Would you like to see your sister like this? Disgusting. We pity your parents, mother.
I pity your mother, never mind Christ.
Because of your dressing sense, girls are getting raped in this country. Here's the problem. Her mother should have some shame.
I was somehow locked in there. I was saying, how did I get here?
To promote, to support Palestine,
What
just
she's
because
trying to say is,
they're young.
What she's trying to say.
Yes.
What I'm trying to say is that we don't care.
What she was trying to say.
Yes.
Look into what exactly you're saying when you mean by free Palestine. When they say from the river to the sea,
you want me
which
to-
river and
Okay.
which sea?
Right.
No, that's for them to understand and look at. And what she also needs to, as a Christian myself, what I would say to her is, I have a younger sister, and I have someone that I love.
Yeah, of course.
And if I saw my younger sister dressing like this, I would have to say something.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Right?
Take care.
And I feel like this person, when the small lady came over and was talking to her about this stuff, the point is, at the end of the day, is that to me, that person needs love. The way she's dressing it looks like it's a more of a.
Oh
the
no,
way-
I think
it's
the
not a
only
way
thing
to
I would
dress.
say, no, look,
It's
but
just not.
at the end of the day, none of us here have got the right to tell anyone else how to dress. Do we have the right to do that?
You saying that?
I'm
who
not
gives
gonna-
you the right to say that everyone else doesn't have the right to?
No, but I'm just saying, do we not live in a
I
democracy?
spin it back on you.
But do you think that you have the right to tell me how to dress? If
Pardon?
I can, have you got the right to tell me how to dress as an individual?
If you came naked, the police would came and take
I'm
you
not
away.
asking you that question. I'm asking
no,
you,
no,
do
no,
you
no,
have the
no,
right
no,
to tell
no,
me
no.
how to dress? I haven't got the right to tell those young girls how
I'm pretty
to dress.
sure. I'm pretty sure someone went to the police and
in
said
Brighton, you
indecent
can ride naked,
exposure.
you know?
Yeah.
In Brighton, you can ride naked.
And they do ride. They
And
do ride
they do
naked.
it.
Right? No, they do.
No, they do
Right,
it though.
They do.
They're on a bike. They're doing it in Soho. They're riding
Listen,
naked.
I'm not a lawman, but I'm pretty sure there's such a thing as
honestly-
indecent exposure.
No, but that's not indecent exposure. That's just young women dressing the way they want.
the
We haven't got the right to tell them how to
but the
dress.
message of
Right,
the message of what's trying to be told to those young women is that
She
this is
hasn't
not
been
an appropriate.
It wasn't being told to them.
What do you mean?
That
There's
lady
nothing.
was getting a bit aggressive.
There's nothing.
Yeah, but the message, the heart of what she was trying to say was that the way you're
She wasn't
dressed is
saying
in.
nothing. She was
It's
coming
not
on aggressive.
inappropriate.
What lady you talking about? Was it that
The
one
heart
with
of
the
what she's
little,
trying to say,
shorts?
when she's calling
I
out
didn't
what
even
she's
notice
saying
how
that
they
they're
were
looking like,
quite
is
honest.
that
Yeah,
this is
okay,
not the
yeah.
way that you should be holding
But
yourselves.
she didn't say that.
I know that's not what she did say,
But
but
she didn't say it, so you have to come onto her.
So
for
are
her
you? So are
aggression.
you?
No, but I suppose at the end of the
Police, I ain't gonna lie. The way you said that.
I take the point you're making. The only thing I would say is that none of us have got the right to tell anyone else how to
That is an
dress.
assertion.
right.
That is an assertion, and that is an
what
assertion
kind
that
of a
you're making.
world-
It's not.
Based on what?
It's not. What
is.
kind of a world are we going to live in if I tell those young ladies, oh, by the way, I don't think you should dress like that? They've got the right to dress how they want. I haven't got the right to tell them.
Do they have the right to do whatever they like?
I'm not saying they've got the right. That's a different question.
No, that's the point.
I haven't
That's
got the
the
right
point.
to tell
No,
those
that is
girls
the
how
point.
to dress. What right do I have? Even if it makes no
One of
sense
them
what
was
you're
a minor.
saying, none of us have got the
of
right
them
to
was a
tell
minor.
them.
So they should.
It doesn't matter whether
So
they're
if they're
Muslim
all
or
minors,
Christian.
are you saying?
One of them is a minor.
We haven't got the right to
One
tell
of them is a minor.
They're not minors, they're young ladies. They're young ladies, they can dress how they want.
I think they were like 16-year-olds.
No, but I'm saying we haven't got the right
Minors
to
on your
tell
mind
them
is
that, have we?
crazy.
Do we have the
Out of
right
love, you should protect them and tell them not to dress like that. It was
to dress
very-
like what? They're just young ladies. They're
Protection.
ladies, they're minors. How can you call them girl?
It wasn't inappropriate. They're just young girls dressing how they want. They're young. They're free. They've got their whole lives in front of them. We haven't got the right to tell them how to dress. What right do I have to go? Have I got a right to tell?
By what
No,
basis?
you're
By
wrong.
what basis?
We can't live it.
On the law.
And also on the law, you cannot expose
They can dress like that
yourself.
under the law.
Exactly.
So they're not breaking the law, so you have no right to tell them.
Exactly.
If they were
That's the
breaking the
point.
law, then maybe. But
Yeah.
they're clearly not breaking the law.
And that's it.
Yeah, but Steve, do you agree?
I can't listen to all of you.
Do you agree? Okay,
You
go
say
on.
that this is-
Finally agree on something, by the way. Well done. We got there eventually.
I'm saying that this is an indecent.
Especially for men to tell women.
Exactly.
That's just disgusting.
It is.
What to say that this is an indecent way to dress?
Well, if you're telling them they can't dress like that, or they shouldn't,
Well,
or-
no, they shouldn't. They shouldn't dress like this. Is that wrong?
What, in
Is
your
that wrong
view, in your personal view?
Is that wrong for me to say?
It depends how you're saying it
Right,
and
just
what
the-
words you're
Just the way
using.
I say it. This is the wrong way you should be dressing. You shouldn't dress like this.
Okay.
If I was them, I'd say, who are you? Mind your own business.
Is
Because
what I
really, it's none of your business.
is
is
what I
it?
said wrong.
Right.
But it's none of your business. It's not illegal. No, it's not illegal what you've
You
said.
can have your view,
But it's a bit.
They've got their
Their
right
own one.
Yeah, they can express their own view. That they don't care what you think.
Who?
I think.
Who wants the right? Which one's the right one?
That's the point. That's
Counter
the point he's
argument.
making.
If the men want them to dress in a certain way, kind of like it's weird on them. If they're okay with watching little girls dress in a certain way.
Right, I think they were probably over 16, if not
Yeah,
over
they were
18.
over 16.
They're not children.
16 and an older person.
They're young adults.
It's still weird though. Like, it says more about you than like this whole situation.
You've got that right to say that you think.
I think the whole point about this thing is what I'm trying to say is that the world is too much of this individually, my way, the highway, and all of that. What I'm trying to say is that, listen, for one to have a civilization, you must have society.
Yeah.
For society to have, you must have community. For community, you must have family. For family, you must have
Sounds like reforms policy.
You must have
family, community, and country.
For family, you must have individuals.
Yes.
These individuals are responsible. If we're going to live in this society and this civilization,
Yes.
these individuals must all think something or have something that they hold dear to themselves.
I'm sure they
right?
do.
And so what we were
Palestine,
what we were trying to say to them, or what they were trying to say to them, was dress modestly,
Yeah.
right? Because for their own good and also for others. To dress modestly.
Anyone had a.
Yeah, what do you mean for others?
Pardon?
What do you mean for others that they should dress modestly for others? I don't know what you actually mean by that.
Because they are not independent and they're not on their own.
But
They
they are
live with other
adults.
people.
They are
And
adults,
other
they
people
are
will look at them.
No, but they are
Only
adults.
dirty men, I guess.
They are adults. They are independent. They're adults. They're independent people. You can't deny that. They're adults. They're not 15-year-olds, are they?
But they're living in a society
Yeah, but we all live
in which
Within what?
pardon?
You cannot
Describe the
Secular
society
society, you know that, right?
that prevents them doing that.
In the secular society,
You can't say
it's no
you
longer Christian.
cannot, because they can.
No, in law you cannot expose yourself.
She wasn't exposing. There were no nipples. There was no pubic hair. She wasn't exposing herself.
What if your daughter came out like that? Would you accept that?
She was not exposing herself.
That's a good question.
If she was at that age, yes. If she was that age, yes.
Paedophilic.
Oh, how dare you! You see the nonsense.
No, that's always.
I would say
You're evil. You're stupid. She just said I'm a paedophile because I said an adult woman can wear a bra.
Get involved.
Anyone can get involved, you stupid girl. Well, don't behave like it then. You just called me a paedophile for saying an adult woman can. She was an adult. She was an adult.
She's a fucking
She's an
minor.
adult.
What's wrong with you?
She's an adult. What's wrong with you? She's an adult.
And you lot surrounding her.
Say it. Steve, she said she's a minor.
She literally opened her thing up and everyone's
she
seeing her breast.
A single nipple, a single areola. What are you talking about? Do I have to be detailed? Do I have to be? And she was an adult. She was an adult. So were you. So were you.
I'm a woman.
What,
You're
lesbian or a straight woman? Which? Is that offensive? How is that offensive? You don't like lesbians? You don't like lesbians?
Now, honestly, you're saying answering my question.
What's wrong with lesbianism?
Oh, to a man. Oh,
I have no idea. What does a lesbian look like?
Let's go one at a
They don't
time.
have a look.
Let's go one at a
They don't
time.
have a
No, you
look.
told me because you just asked me if I was a lesbian. So do I look like a
Would it
lesbian?
matter if you were? Would it? You're not.
Yes.
But what would it
In a
matter
minute,
if
in
you
a minute,
were?
you will see I'm not a lesbian because my husband will be coming here.
I would love you to call her a lesbian.
Phobia that some people have in our society.
Homophobia, I beg your pardon.
Yes, clearly homophobic. Because you think it was an insult to suggest that you might be a lesbian.
My question was important. Wait, hold on.
That's homophobic.
Homophobia.
That's homophobic.
I don't have a phobia of gay and lesbian people.
Then why are you so insulted if you think someone might be suggesting you're a lesbian? Why is that offensive to you? Why have you got angry?
The question of what she brought.
You've been triggered.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
You asked a good question. Would you bring up your own?
I answered her, didn't you say? Which is the first thing that triggered her.
Would you bring up your daughter in a way where you would allow her to be comfortable to dress in such a way? So in other words, the first time she dressed like that.
If she was an adult, if she was over 18
I said
years
no.
of age,
Before she's 18.
obviously if she was 12,
Before she's 18 of
If she
age.
was 13,
Before she's
I wouldn't be
hold on,
allowing
all the
it.
way up until 16. In other words, before she's an 18, what would you teach her to do?
Well, she's a child, so not to dress sexually.
Up until 18.
So not to dress
when she's 17 years and 364 days, what would you teach her to do?
I have a 17-year-old son, not a daughter. He dresses exactly how he wants.
But what would you want them to do? How would you teach them to dress?
Or behave.
That's the question.
Or just openly?
Or behave.
Or would you allow them to do what they like?
Or behave.
When they were 18, yes.
Okay.
What would you...
And unless she was going out naked, but actually if she was on a nature speech, she could be naked.
It's not a number. It's not a number.
You see, we're not Puritans in this country. We don't think it's shameful of the human body.
It's a secular society at the end of the day. We live in a secular society.
Yes, absolutely. And I do teach my son.
And so when they...
We should not be shamed about our bodies.
Understood. So
Yeah, that was crazy, bro.
My brother, what do you have to say about all of this? Well, what do you have to say?
Why?
Why not? Why take the conversation? Why take the conversation? That's a ridiculous argument. It's a ridiculous argument. Would I get my balls?
Why not?
Why is that your desire? Why is that your desire? Why are you worried about that one?
Wait. So you agree?
This is a puritanical view. We're not a puritanical society.
It's not your...
Yes, it is. You're
Yes,
saying,
hello.
I mean, how much cleavage is okay? None? Or a little bit? Or a bit more?
Go home. Go home. It's past your bedtime.
Size. On the size.
But forget the...
Would you science?
No, on the size. Depends on the size.
You can't... You can't wear your
You're being a Puritan. You're being a Puritan.
Because I was trying to ask you, would you bring up your... If you were to have a daughter, would you bring up your daughter in a way where you would expect her to dress like what you just saw? Would you bring her up in that way?
Yes.
No, you're saying
I would almost listen.
See the way man's holding. Oh, let's go comment. So we can see here that he's.
By the time that when she becomes 18, it's not a surprise. That's what I'm asking. What would you teach them until the point?
Sexuality is important. Sex is important.
No,
libido is important. That being feminine is important.
Oh my word.
All of those
That's
things.
ridiculous.
And I knew you'd be surprised about that.
I would be surprised
Because sexuality is important. Young people should be screwing.
Yeah, exactly.
Why?
Yes.
Because it's part of human nature, and it's
It was
fun,
certain
and it's
age.
enjoyable,
It's
and it's how
certain
people
age.
grow up.
It's certain
Yes,
age.
but she was clearly above the age of consent.
No, she won't.
No,
Which go like that? It was clear. She was above the age of consent.
What about if she wasn't?
All right, 19.
Then obviously it wouldn't be.
But
we still have
already making that assertion.
We still have to accept there were 15-years-olds having sex. Even though in the eyes of the law it's not lawful. But we have to accept it.
Why are you moving like that? Why are you moving?
As long as it's consensual, I'm not sure I have a problem with it. And between similar ages, obviously if it's a 50-year-old sleeping with a 15-year-old, that's going to be wrong. That's going to be wrong. Say again?
Same act of sex.
Yes, but if it's two 15-years-olds, it's not the same, is it?
Why is it not? It's still the same act
You
of sex.
honestly can't understand.
No, I can. I'm asking you.
15-year-old
Yes,
having
I can.
sex.
I'm asking you.
Orlando!
Sorry? No, I didn't. Oh, shit, let me hold this. I didn't say that.
Oh, man.
I didn't. I did not say that. It's on camera.
He did.
Hold on, wait. This is exactly... No, wait. This is exactly what he said. I can tell you verbatim what he said. Wait, what I'm saying? No, wait, hold on.
You want to know what we were talking about?
Hey, tell him.
Are you willing to listen?
You actually sound saying
Say
that,
again.
but you're actually stupid.
No, you said that wasn't
That's
it.
not what I said.
No, it wasn't
How
that.
did it even start? Because I don't understand. How has that come up?
No, I can tell you verbatim what he said. I understand you're here to protect it, and you have every right to do that. But you need to understand verbatim what he said. He said when they were going back and forth, he said, "Are you a lesbian or are you straight?" That's what he said.
He asked the question.
That's exactly what he said.
That's all he
He
asked.
didn't project that she was lesbian.
So what did she say?
I'm not in the side.
So what did she say?
She said I'm married.
She got triggered by it.
And then she said I'm married. And then she said,
Okay, but what was the answer to that question?
What before me saying that?
I don't know about that one. But that's what it was.
I honestly can't remember what went before. But I asked her the question.
Let me just say this.
She got very angry.
You guys,
We are in Speaker's Corner as well.
you guys need to realize that
So
when
you shouldn't
Speaker's
come to
Corner-
Speaker's Corner if you're so easily triggered.
if you're going to be offended by somebody's opinion, Speaker's Corner is not for you.
Was that the husband?
I have no issue about being offended. That's why I come to Speaker's Corner.
She actually went off and got her husband to come back. And
Nonsense. Where's my man?
At the end of the day,
You're welcome.
if you don't want to be offended, then don't come to Speaker's Corner. That's why we come here. I come here to be offended.
Let's
In terms of what you would teach your child.
Why children should not be sexual, and I wouldn't encourage a child
So I don't know if
sexual. Expose themselves, dress provocatively. I wouldn't encourage any of those things.
Would you encourage?
You're a Puritan.
No, I believe that in a society you should be allowed to do stuff like this, but I wouldn't encourage it.
Yeah, well, that's a more sensible position. Isn't it? Is that your position? I think as well, isn't it?
No, I'm just trying to understand as to where you get your justification. You're coming to us and saying that they're puritanical, but you're also.
Well, I know. I said that about one or two people in the discussion.
But there's also puritanics within your own.
Well, do you know what puritanical means? It's like being prudish about things of a sexual nature.
Yeah,
and it's the one thing I don't like about Abrahamic religions, which non-Abrahamic religions don't have. But it seems that Abrahamic religions have a problem with sex and sexuality.
No, they don't have a problem with sex.
Yeah, religions like Hinduism, they're very open about sex. I mean, go into a Hindu temple and there are statues all over the place that are very, very sexual. And I wish Abrahamic religions were more like that, but they don't seem comfortable with sexuality.
I think we are comfortable with sexuality. We're comfortable with sex within the context of marriage.
You set down lots of rules and
but it's within
regulations.
But we said that within the context of marriage because with sex comes life. It's pleasure,
but not always. In fact, most often not.
Yeah, but
it's just a very pleasurable act.
Yeah, but the act itself as a function is to give life. Although it doesn't happen always, that's the whole. Come on, we can agree that that's the whole point of it, right?
No, because most sexual acts don't result in children.
No, but it results in the same function. No.
The function is pleasure. The function is pleasure.
Hold on. The function is still the same in the sense that the bodily fluid of the man or the woman is released for the sake. Why does that function happen? It's released, which is pleasurable.
I know,
exactly.
I know what you're saying.
So what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, the whole thing has got to do with the function of making children.
Why did God make it so damn pleasurable then?
Pardon?
Why did God make it so damn pleasurable?
Because I would say it's a good thing. He then put in, it's a good thing. That's why when you said we think it's, Abrahamic religious thing is bad, I don't think that's.
They are though.
No,
all of them.
No, we're saying,
all three of them.
No, we're not. We're just saying that it's.
They don't encourage sexual activity.
We do. We encourage marriage.
Yes, and that's not sex.
Yeah, but sex can happen within that.
Well, obviously it can, but it can happen outside of it as well.
Well, when it happens outside of it, you've got to take everything that comes with outside of it too.
What pleasure?
And children.
Not necessarily. It's called contraception.
But if you have a child...
If you use contraception, you won't.
But we know that contraception doesn't always work. Just like how when you have sex, you don't always have a child.
It does
so
work.
So even if contraception works or doesn't work, and you have a child, right? What happens to that child?
Depends on the circumstances, doesn't it?
I feel like that's too blasé. If you want all the,
depends on the situation. It's not always going to be bad outcomes. Sometimes it will be.
You want all the pleasure, but none of what comes with it.
We are all animals. We all have sexual, well, most of us have sexual urges. Worrying about what I didn't think it was particularly appropriate, particularly because she was going on about Palestine.
Come on, that's unfair.
Because she was going on about Palestine, and she wouldn't last 2 minutes in Palestine.
That's unfair. The truth is coming. That's unfair. You can't come.
I've got a point. She could not dress like that in Palestine. She can hair, and she's welcome to hair, but she couldn't do that in Palestine. You know that.
And why did you tell her that? We know that.
I did say it a few times.
We all know that.
And that's what I found amusing by the whole situation.
That was quite funny.
That she was dressed like that, with half her tits hanging out, shouting "Free Palestine." That was just.
But if she was
surreal.
there would be no chance. No chance.
And there's an irony, if not hypocrisy, about that. It's like Queers for Palestine. They wouldn't last 2 seconds in Palestine either. What the hell's that about? Anyway, that's a cut.